Hi, Jehan.
Hi.
Hi, thanks for taking time out to speak to Hindustan Times.
Yeah, no problem at all.
And many congratulations on testing a Formula One car for the first time.
Thank you.
So, Jehan, first of all, tell us how was it to drive a Formula One car? Tell us about your experience, the G forces involved. How did your body react to it? What did you learn from the test?
Yeah, I think, firstly, it's been like 12, 13 years of hard work, from everyone, for me, my family, everyone who supported me. So it was a big deal for me to, to be in Formula One, also
Mm,
to, represent the country. It meant a lot.
mm,
Obviously, it was a test, but a test with a great team like McLaren. So it was,
mm,
a big deal for me for sure. And yeah, like you said, physically these cars are, there's a lot of G's.
mm,
There was 5.5 G's of braking and close to 6 G's in cornering.
mm,
Uh, but I actually cope with it physically. I didn't know what to expect. Let's say, I've seen a lot
mm,
of it on TV, and I didn't know how my body would cope with the G's. I obviously trained as much as I could, and surprisingly, or not surprisingly, I think I'm glad to know that physically I coped really well. I didn't struggle really at all over the 2 days. Obviously at the end of day two, I started to feel it a bit in my neck, but that I think that they said that's pretty normal. A lot of people they struggle for their first time a lot before that. But yeah, I made it, to the 2 days without any issues at all. We completed 130 laps, and so it's a lot of kilometers for my first test. Without any issues physically. So, over the 2 days, we ticked all the boxes through all our run plans. We didn't have any trouble at all. So, the test went really smoothly, and I was really happy.
great. Tell us about one. How did you feel physically? One, and second, how did you feel mentally in the first couple of laps?
In the first few laps, in fact, I think the car did feel fast in the beginning, but I got used to the speed of it pretty quickly. It took me like maybe 1 or 2 laps to get used to the power. But yeah, obviously the downforce, it takes a few laps to get used to, to get your head around mentally. There's so much downforce on these cars, and it's literally the more speed you carry in the corners, the more grip you have, because that's how downforce works in high speed corners. Obviously, until a certain limit. But also from a mental point of view, I think I was pretty relaxed. You know, definitely, I think my father and my sister were a bit more nervous than I was. I could tell when I was, getting in the car ready for my session. But I think I was quite calm. I knew it is a really big deal. I wouldn't lie, I was a little bit nervous, but also at the same time, I felt like I belonged there, and it was the next step in my journey. So I didn't let things get to me too much. I just tried to stay focused on what I had to do. There's a lot of buttons, there's a lot of talking with the race engineer and stuff. So I was in the zone, and trying to just focus on the job I had to do.
What speeds did you hit, say, on the Wellington straight or the Angus straight?
Honestly, I didn't even check the top speed, but I think in like turn one, Abbey is like flat out easily in a Formula One car, and it's over 300 kilometers an hour. And in F2 we do like 260 maybe there, and we don't even go flat out. So it's a big difference. Like I said, top speed I don't really feel a massive difference from F2. The main thing in these cars is downforce.
Hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot of acceleration in the cars. There's a lot of power, in low gears. But when you hit sixth, seventh gear and eighth gear, it doesn't feel that fast. There's also Silverstone is a wide track, so the sense of speed is also not massive. But yeah, in high speed corners, the cars are just ridiculous.
And could you tell us a little bit about the timings you notched in the 130 laps?
Yeah, actually, in terms of actual times, I did, not allowed to really
Okay.
say too much about it. But also, like the engine modes and stuff are not the same as you would run on a race
Of course.
weekend. So, you know, it's just hard to compare. The tires are also not the same as race weekend tires. So
Hmm.
in the end, you know, from the data they had and the job I did, I think just to say I did a good job, and things went for me really smoothly. I expected to perform at a good level. I have confidence in myself and belief, and also driving these cars, you get loads of confidence. There's so much downforce in them that it just oozes confidence into your body, and you can just push them really hard, really quickly.
And do you think this test will help you in Formula 2?
It's hard to say. I think it's definitely never going to be a negative. I think if anything, it'll be a positive. Obviously, things will happen a bit at a slower speed in Formula 2 now that I've driven a Formula 1 car. But also, you can take some things that you learned in Formula 1, but also some things are completely different. So it's going to be my first weekend switching back to F2, and it's also a direct comparison because I was at Silverstone, last week, and I'm again at Silverstone next week. So it will be good to see and good to know. And let's just see how it goes. I can't really comment if it is going to help me or not because I've not done it. So let's see how it goes next week.
Okay, Jehan, some questions not directly related to motorsport, but what is it like to strive in a sport which is largely invisible or on the fringes in India? Can it at times feel like chasing a mirage in a country which doesn't even host an F1 race?
No, for me, at the end, I want to make it to Formula One, and it's like a sport like badminton. You need one person to really succeed and do well, and the sport grows massively. So hopefully, if not now, in the coming years, we can be me, have a successful driver in Formula One. Hopefully, I can go there in the next couple of years, and I think that helps the sport grow naturally. There's a lot more viewers, a lot more people coming into racing, start liking racing. So it's a process. Unfortunately, India has not been up there in the highest scale of racing, but I think it's only a matter of time now.
We all know what your final aim is, but how do you envision it? Do you dream about it? Do you think about it?
I do sometimes, but honestly, I just have to focus on my current season in Formula Two. Doing this test was great in Formula One. It was a big achievement. But the thing that will make me go into Formula One is actually my Formula Two season. So I need to continue to focus on my season. Have good results, do good races, and hopefully, if I'm fighting for the championship at the end of the year, that really pushes or makes me feel like I deserve to go to Formula One on merit.
And what really drives you in such a situation? What does it take to keep going for such a solitary goal?
I think I've dreamed of Formula One since I was a kid. So since that is what drives me. Also, I'm in general a competitive person in life. I like to do well in everything that I do. If I'm taking something up, I want to do it properly. So racing for me is my most favorite thing. My most favorite sport. It's what drives me. It's my biggest passion, and I do everything for it to try to do well, and only if you do well you can go to Formula One. So yeah, that's the main thing that drives me.
We all know how your journey started with the 1 in a billion hunt, but when and how did your interest in Formula racing begin?
Yeah, actually, when I was 2005, 2006 is when I started watching Formula One. Those were the days Alonso was winning with Renault. I was quite young that time. I didn't really think of starting racing, but I loved watching racing for sure. Probably I sat in a go-kart for the first time when I was 8 years old. I couldn't even reach the pedals. I had to put cushions behind me, and yeah, it was the most fun thing I ever did after I drove a go-kart for the first time. So I kind of wanted to go racing, but we didn't really think of it seriously because there's nothing, or we didn't think there was any scope of racing in India at that time. And by luck, once my dad was flying back on a plane, and in the newspaper in front of his seat, he saw an advertisement that Drayoman Banerjee was holding a training camp for young karters in Powai. And I went there. I did the tryout, and Rayo told my dad that he sees something in me and considering I've never really driven go-karts at all. I was really impressive, and yeah, that's how it all started. A couple of years after that was the 1 in a billion hunt, and obviously for then is when racing got really serious. In 2012, I moved to the UK, to pursue my racing, and I was definitely a homeboy, but I had to leave home and follow my passion, and that's what I did when I was 12 or 13 years old, and yeah, the journey still continues.
What are the things that you worry about? What are your frustrations?
To be honest, I don't really. I think mentally, I'm quite a relaxed person. I don't really worry too much about what could happen or what should happen. I kind of just focus on the present. Obviously, I want to go to Formula One. It is my dream, and I think I don't want to look too far ahead. I want to still focus on what I'm doing right now. And it's a fact that yeah, it's hard to get seats in Formula One. There's 20 drivers with barely any seats opening up. So I have to continue doing well in Formula Two, continue pushing myself, and leave it up to my team, my support team, and my management to find that seat for me in Formula One.
And what are your off-track interests? Do you follow a band? Do you like listening to a particular kind of music? Are you into reading? Do you like comic books, anime, manga?
I'm not into music at all.
Okay.
I'm not into reading. I love just playing sports. That's what I do even off track. When I'm back home, I love playing cricket. I love playing badminton, table tennis.
Mm-hmm.
I love going to like my holiday house to relax for a few days. I used to love playing football, but I've not played since 2019 since I hurt my knee. But yeah, I love playing squash as well. So yeah, I'm kind of like a sports freak.
And where is this holiday home of yours?
It's in Lonavala.
Okay. And obviously, you have a busy calendar, etc. But you get time to follow any other sport apart from Formula
Yeah,
racing?
I watch a lot of cricket.
Okay.
I love watching cricket, IPL or Test cricket.
Mm-hmm.
I normally watch when India's playing, but like even now, I watch a bit when I can. England, New Zealand series, I catch up on the highlights and stuff. But yeah, I love watching cricket. I love watching football, and yeah, that's about it. In racing, I pretty much watch all races. I love MotoGP. I love watching DTM, Formula E, Formula 4, Formula 3. Doesn't matter. I love watching it all.
Okay. And who's your favorite cricketer? And do you think you'll be able to catch a match in the current India Ireland or India England series that's going to come next?
I would love to go, but my whole month is packed. I don't even have 1 or 2 days off to go to watch the game. But I would love to. My favorite cricketer is definitely Virat Kohli.
Okay. Have you had a chance to meet him?
Yeah, I have met him quite a few times actually.
Okay. And what have your interactions been like?
Pretty good. He's quite a relaxed guy. Yeah, and he's also quite determined and focused, as everyone can see. And he's got that hunger to always do well and win. And he's a great inspiration for young children and young kids, trying to take up a sport. He's always there to chat with you and encourage you and push you to do well in your own field. So yeah, he's definitely my favorite cricketer.
Jehan, when you when you're done with the race weekend and when you leave the track, how do you feel when you leave the track? What are your thoughts in your mind? If it's a good weekend, do you kind of keep recollecting your memories from the weekend, or if it's a bad one, do you leave it there?
I think it really depends, like you said, how the weekend goes. So if it's a good weekend, you leave the track happy. If it's a bad weekend, you leave the track sad, pretty much. Unfortunately, I think as we are built, racing drivers are really, really competitive, and unfortunately, the racing controls our mind and mentality a bit too much. In fact, if things are going well, we are happy. If things are not going well, we are sad. So it's kind of how it rolls. I don't believe anyone is there in Formula 2 thinking, oh, I'm so happy to drive a Formula 2 car even if they're finishing in 15th and 16th.
Mm.
It's just not how it works. We're all competing against each other. It's obviously fun, don't get me wrong, but it's more fun when you're fighting in the front and you're fighting for podiums and wins. And it's what drives us. If you're happy after a weekend of not doing well, then you're not going to make it to the top. So it's just about having the right balance between being disappointed and learning from it and not dwelling on it too much. But also making sure that you are disappointed and you want to change things and make them better for the next race.
Okay, and we know that what this sport means to you. But can you really describe how you feel about it? I mean, is it really the biggest thing in your life?
I think by far it's the biggest thing in my life. It, yeah, I think racing has been my life for the
Mm.
last 10, 12 years, and it's going to continue to be my life for the next 15, 20 years. So,
Okay.
everything I do right now in my life is for racing, and everyone who supports me and cares for me kind of understands that, and that's just how it works.
What are your favorite moments from the sport or memories?
I think a lot of memories makes obviously the 1 in a billion hunt was a big memory for me when I was a kid and karting. Progressing through karting, winning the British karting championship was a big achievement for me. Coming third in the world karting championships was also a big achievement. Doing well in Renault, coming third in FIF3 in 2019 also was a big achievement. And then obviously signing with the Red Bull Junior team was one of the biggest moments of my career, I would say. And currently I'm sitting third in F2. Obviously, the season has been going well. It can be better, but I feel I'm driving well. I'm delivering good results, and hopefully there's better things to come.
Okay, and one last question: if God gave you three wishes right now, and if they were to come true, what would you opt for?
I don't know. It's hard for me to answer the question because like I'm not really that type of guy who believes in superstition
I
and
agree. Fine. That, but if
if
you,
shoulda, woulda, coulda, and kind of stuff like that. So I guess to be in Formula One and to be a Formula One world champion, I think it's pretty easy from my side. But
okay, that's one.
I don't know, just stay healthy, probably
Okay, two and another.
to continue living my dream.
Okay, all right. Okay, thank you, Jehan. Thanks for taking out time to speak to us. It was a great,
Thank you,
it was a pleasure talking to you. Thanks.
thank you, thank you.